Our story kicks off with Hajime Nagumo waking up confused, like he just blacked out during math class. Then reality hits him. He's in the Orcus Labyrinth, basically a dungeon so deep even philosophers would say, yeah nah, too much thinking. His first mission as the discount hero? Find some stairs. As he stumbles around, he spots a bunny. Cute, right? Wrong. A pack of wolves rush in, and this rabbit obliterates them like it's in John Wick 5, Fluffy Revenge. Hajime is shook. It's a killer rabbit, and as it hops toward him ready to send him straight to anime heaven, boom. Out of nowhere, a giant bear appears and slices the bunny's head clean off. Dinner is served. Now it's bear time. Hajime, being the brave protagonist he is, immediately sprints like it's PE class. But the bear yeets magical claws at him, and snip, there goes his arm. Cue Hajime screaming like he just stubbed his pinky toe on Lego. Desperate, he uses his transmutation magic to throw up a wall. While the bear is busy smashing it down like the Kool-Aid man, Hajime dives into a cave and promptly passes out. When he wakes up, he spots a glowing divine crystal floating above him. Jackpot. He remembers reading about it in the library. This magical rock can heal wounds and break curses. Sounds great, except the bear is still outside. Bummer. Hajime gets all moody, replaying how he ended up stuck in this hellhole. Flashback to school days. Commander Guy tells everyone to stick together like duct tape in the Orcus Labyrinth. They practice clearing floors, fighting monsters, the usual tutorial stuff. But Hajime? Yeah, he was the weak link, the class noob. Everyone told him to stop cosplaying as a broomstick and maybe hit the gym. Then a girl spots this giant crystal on the ceiling. Commander explains it's a rare, gland crystal, which, fun fact, people mostly use for engagement rings. Naturally, one genius in the class ignores orders, goes full magpie, and touches the shiny rock. Boom. Teleport trap. Whole class gets yeeted to another level. Suddenly, a giant bull shows up, an absolute tank, along with an army of skeletons. And that's when Hajime remembers the betrayal. His classmates basically let him fall straight into this monster-infested dumpster fire. No hesitation, no rescue attempt, just oops, guess he's dead. Anyway, talk about the worst group project ever. Hajime hits rock bottom and declares, I want to live. I want to go home. He's starving, dehydrated, and looking like a depressed NPC. Desperate, he drinks straight out of a puddle, 5-star fine dining for this clown, and swears he'll kill anything in his way, monsters included. Cut to him pulling off the world's saddest hunting plan, digging a pit, luring wolves inside, and pelting them with rocks until they drop. Then he skewers them with his spear like overcooked kebabs. Gourmet meal, right? Wrong. He takes one bite and immediately regrets life. It's disgusting. Then, plot twist, he starts screaming like a toddler at the dentist. Turns out humans can't just munch on monster meat. But instead of dying, his hair goes full anime white, and his body gets a total reboot. Lucky for him, that gross puddle water was actually divine juice. Without it, he'd be 6 feet under. The pain finally fades, and suddenly Hajime feels light, strong, different. He checks his stats, and boom, his power level just shot past 9,000. He can even manipulate mana without chanting spells. From weakling scrub to cheat code protagonist in one cursed meal. Our boy quickly realizes he's unlocked cheat codes by eating monster meat. First flex, rock manipulation. He turns explosive stones into bullets, and because swords are too mainstream, he builds himself a gun. Yes, an actual gun. To test it, he spots a rabbit and, bang, one taps it straight in the dome. Congrats, Hajime, you're now camping in spawn. He names his pistol Donner because apparently naming your gun makes you cooler. After eating the rabbit, he discovers he's absorbed its powers. Now he can teleport and bunny hop through the air like Bugs Bunny on steroids. Perfect timing because it's revenge o'clock. He hunts down the bear that ripped his arm off. Using his new hops, he dodges around, shoots the bear, slices off its arm, and then eats it raw. Straight savage. Finally, he ends it with a clean headshot. Bear deleted. With his new edgelord energy, Hajime swears he's going home and will kill anyone who stands in his way. Scene switch. Random naked girl stuck in a magic cube. Weird. Anyway, back to Hajime, casually gnawing on a monster leg like it's KFC. He mutters about the labyrinth having 100 floors, but admits he doesn't even know which one he's on. Moments later, he stumbles across his next nightmare, a giant lizard with the power of petrification. It spits acid at him, turning his lamp to stone and hitting his arm, which starts to wither. This clown hides behind a rock, but the lizard peeks over the top. Surprise, he throws a flashbang and shoots it. We then see a montage of him wrecking monsters on various floors, collecting their magic plates. Meanwhile, his classmates, who actually escaped, are talking to the king. The commander tells the king about the gland's crystal on floor 20, which was a trap that teleported them to what was probably floor 65. Pope Ishtar chimes in, saying, "Floor 65 is the deepest anyone's ever gone." After that, the king requests that they don't talk about the hero who died. Obviously, they're talking about our boy since they think he's monster food by now. A girl named Shizuku flashes back to when they lost him. The teacher had told Hajime to hold a wall, but it crumbled under the giant bull's strength. His classmates started blasting the bull with fire, but then we see someone shoot Hajime, clearly trying to kill him. Another girl, Kaori, tries to help, but it's too late. The teacher just knocks her out cold to stop her. Back in the present, Shizuku is with Kawi, who's still unconscious. While training with her sword, Shizuku remembers a classmate telling the story Pope Ishtar shared. The kid explained there are three races: humans, demons, and beastmen. Humans and demons have been at war for ages, but now the demons are about to win, and the world is on the brink of destruction. To prevent this apocalypse, the god of creation, Ahite, summoned heroes with great powers, them to save the kingdom. Everyone gets super hyped by the story and is ready to fight some demons. They all decide to join the war while their teacher yells at them not to. Back to the present, Shizuku is still training. A classmate named Hayama walks by, muttering, "Nobody saw me. Nobody knows what I did." She calls out to him, and he jumps, startled. She asks him to train with her, but he's like, "Nah, I'm good," and scurries away. Shizuka thinks he's acting super sketchy. She goes back to the room, and Kaori finally wakes up. Shizuku tells her she's been out for 5 days, and that almost everyone made it out of the labyrinth. Kaori starts bawling when she hears, "They couldn't save our protagonist." Scene change. We see our boy training and sipping tea in the labyrinth, repeating his mantra about killing anyone who gets in his way. He comes across a massive iron door, but this clown never studied ancient doors. He tries to use transmutation to open it, but it's a total fail. All the noise he's making wakes up some stone-covered monsters. He quickly takes one out with a shot to the eye. He shoots another, but it puts up a magic shield, and the bullets just bounce off. Our hero dodges a swing from the monster, and it's just another day at the office for him. He shoots again, but the monster blocks the bullets with its arm like it's nothing. Finally, our boy manages to break the monster's shield and finishes it with a shot to its weak spot. After the fight, he pulls some mana stones from the monster's bodies. Turns out they're the keys to the iron door. He opens it and finds a spinning cube in the center of the room. Inside is the naked girl we saw earlier. She wakes up and begs for his help, but he just turns around and walks away, thinking it's probably a trap. This guy's got trust issues. The girl desperately says she'll do anything if he helps her. Still, he's not interested. Then she tells him she's there because she was betrayed. Hearing this, our hero stops. Betrayal. Been there, done that. He walks back and asks why she was locked up. The girl just stares at him for a moment, then reveals she's from a powerful vampire family. She says she was a princess who helped her people, but the ministers decided they didn't need her anymore. Since they couldn't kill her, they locked her in the cube. Our protagonist asks why they couldn't just kill her. She explains that she has rapid healing powers and can control mana directly. After hearing her story, he decides to help and tries to break the cube with his powers, straining himself to the limit. He manages to free her, but is completely exhausted from using almost all his power. He asks for her name. She says she doesn't want her old name and asks him to give her a new one. He names her Yu. He explains that when he saw her blonde hair and red eyes, she reminded him of the moon. How poetic for this ugly boy. Yu loves the name and gives him a hug. But the tender moment is ruined by giant spikes shooting out of the ground. Our hero, ever the gentleman, shields her and takes the spikes in his back. Yue pulls them all out. They look up and see a giant scorpion with glowing red eyes. He tells her to put on his coat and get on his back. The scorpion drops down and Hajime opens fire, but the bullets do nothing against its tough shell. The scorpion shoots lasers from its pincers, which he dodges. He throws a bomb, but that doesn't work either. Then Yue looks at him and bites his neck to drink his blood because, vampire. The blood seems to reboot her powers. She starts lifting rocks from the ground with transmutation. After she's done drinking, she tells him his blood was delicious. Thanks, I guess. Yu forms a blue energy ball and hurls it at the scorpion, but using so much power at once leaves her drained. Our hero tells her to do it again. Even though she's exhausted, he runs to distract the scorpion while Yue musters up another energy ball and hits its shell. He rushes in and shoots its weak spot. The scorpion drops dead instantly. Afterward, Yue asks why he didn't just run and leave her behind. He tells her that even though she was betrayed before, he would never do that to her. Later, we see him carving up the scorpion meat. He asks you how she's still alive since all vampires were wiped out in a war 300 years ago. He's shocked to realize she's over 300 years old. She explains that she doesn't age because of her regeneration powers, making her basically immortal. Yu tells him this Orcus Labyrinth was built by rebels who betrayed the gods. They tried to destroy the world, failed, and hid in their labyrinths. She says the rebels now live in the depths of the Orcus Labyrinth. In the next scene, our boy is showing Yue his new sniper rifle, which he names Schloin. Seeing the weapon, she asks him how he ended up in the labyrinth and why he can manipulate mana. She keeps asking questions, why he eats monsters, what happened to his arm. So he tells her everything. How the god Ahit summoned him, how his powers were trash, how a classmate betrayed him, and how he fell into the depths of the labyrinth. He explains that's why he started killing and eating monsters, which gave him his new powers. Yue starts crying over his sad backstory. He tells her he's not looking for revenge. He just wants to get strong enough to go home. Hearing this makes her sad because she has no home to return to. And then our hero offers to let her come with him to the human world. But then they hear a noise from behind the rocks. Cut to his classmates who are training and vowing to get stronger to go back into the labyrinth. Back to Hajime and Yu. They're being chased by a stampede of dinosaurs. He's carrying her on his back, but she's surprisingly calm, not scared at all. He notices the dinosaurs all have flowers on their heads. Yue thinks they're cute. Our hero remembers seeing a dinosaur rubbing its feet in a field of flowers earlier. Yu suggests something is controlling the dinosaurs through the flowers. They fall into a hole and land in a cave. Yu bites him again for another blood snack, but Hajime spots more dinosaurs, so they run and hide in a secret cave, which he seals with transmutation. As they explore, they find green bubbles floating in the air. He puts up a protective wall, but then he sees Yue is paralyzed. She tells him to run. Suddenly, she starts attacking him with magic, which he dodges. He realizes the floating bubbles are what's making her attack him. A plant woman appears, holding Yue and forcing her to attack him. Yue apologizes because she's under the plant woman's spell. Then our hero gets a flower on his head, too. But the flower on his head just withers and dies. He starts laughing. Thanks to all the monster meat he's eaten, the plant woman's mind control doesn't work on him. Still, Yue keeps attacking. She tells him not to worry about her and to just shoot even if it kills her. He raises his pistol and fires, hitting the flower on her head perfectly. After that, he finishes her off with a headshot, but then Yue gets mad and starts punching him because he didn't hesitate to shoot at her. Women, am I right? Later, our protagonist is eating some monster meat and offers some to Yue, but she's not having it. The only thing she wants is his blood. She takes off his coat, gets close, and starts drinking. Next scene, they're descending a staircase. He says they've finally reached floor 100 and need to be extra careful because this level is the most dangerous yet. They arrive at a giant door. He asks if she's scared. She says no because she's with him. They open the door and enter a huge hall with many towers. Yue says this is where the rebels are hiding. As they walk, a multi-headed dragon appears. One head breathes fire, another breathes ice. Our hero dodges. Yue flies up and unleashes a hailstorm while he shoots at the heads. They see a white head healing the others. He tells her to target the white one first. Yu attacks again, but it does nothing. He realizes a yellow head is for defense. Then a black head gets close to Yu, and its power forces bad memories on her, nearly knocking her out. Just as the dragon is about to bite her, our hero saves her and throws a bomb. He creates a wall to hide behind. Yue wakes up terrified, having seen a vision of him abandoning her. He gives her a kiss and tells her they have to get out of there alive and go home. He says he's going to use the sniper rifle and asks her to cover him while he shoots since he can only fire one bullet at a time. Yu starts blasting the dragon with magic, but the black head closes in to mess with her mind again. This time though, she thinks about the kiss from our boy and the dragon's power fizzles out. Nice. She keeps attacking and the dragon tries the same trick on Hajime, but it doesn't work on him either. After that, our hero loads his rifle and snipes two of the dragon's heads clean off. Yue then unleashes a celestial blaze and completely obliterates the dragon, but she's totally drained. As Hajime approaches her, the dragon reappears now even stronger and blasts a massive beam from its mouth. Scene change. Hajime jumped in front of Yue, taking the full hit. He collapses, bleeding out as the dragon bombards him. Yue puts some divine water in her mouth and gives it to him. You know, the anime way. She tells him it's her turn to protect him and grabs his gun. She runs at the dragon and shoots it in the eye, but it swats her to the ground. Hajime hears Yue crying because she can't help him. This clown gets up, picks her up, and tells her to drink his blood because he needs her power to win. He blows up the ceiling, trapping the dragon under the rubble. Yue unleashes another celestial blaze, finally destroying the dragon for good. After that, our hero collapses from exhaustion. Yue lies down with him, telling him he did a great job. He says she did, too. Meanwhile, Professor Aiko is furious that Pope Ishtar sent the students back into the Orcus Labyrinth. Inside, Saori is still moping about Hajime's death. Her classmates try to cheer her up, but the commander tells them to get a move on. Cut to our boy sleeping in a bed with Yue sleeping next to him. He wakes her up and she hugs him, relieved he's okay. After that, our hero asks where they are. She tells him they're in the rebels' hideout. Yu explains how they got there while he was knocked out cold. After the giant door opened, she carried him to this place, put him in bed, and gave him divine water. Then our boy asks the important question, why am I naked? Yue, they're ready to take down Behemoth. The whole squad, now powered up, attacks the giant bull and manages to break one of its horns. The bull leaps to attack, but a girl puts up a magic barrier. The bull's strength starts to crack it, but Kaori uses her powers to reinforce the shield. The bull stumbles, and everyone unleashes their powers, finally killing it for good. They're all hyped about their first real team victory, but Kaori is off by herself. Shizuku approaches her, but Kaori just lies and says she's not thinking about anything. Back to our boy. Oscar Orcus tells him he'll grant him his powers, hoping he'll use them for good. Then Oscar fades away, leaving Hajime totally confused. He gets a massive headache as new knowledge is basically downloaded into his brain. He tells Yue he's got a new skill, creation magic, which lets him make any object. He says he'll teach her how to use it. Later, our hero falls asleep while Yue practices her new powers. In another scene, while this ugly loser is taking a bath, a naked Yue casually walks in and joins him. He's like, I wanted to bathe alone, but then asks her to at least cover her chest. She tells him she wants him to look at her, but our boy gets all flustered. Yue gets right in front of him and says she's all his. She hugs him, but he's just a blushing mess. We see them spending time together, and he shows her the powers of the ring he took from Oscar's skeleton. Our hero has used his new powers to make himself a cool metal arm and some new weapons. He puts a patch over his missing eye. He offers her Oscar's ring, but she's not ready to use it yet. We see Yue feeding him, and then he puts the ring on her finger. Later, they're standing in the teleportation circle. He tells Yue they've been there for 2 months, and that he's now more powerful than anyone on the surface. He declares that together they'll cross the entire world, and poof, they teleport. Scene change. A bunny girl is being chased by a two-headed dinosaur. She scrambles up a rock to escape. Just then, Hajime and Yu appear from the teleportation circle and blast the dinosaur, which immediately runs away. They're thrilled to be back on the surface, but as they're about to kiss, the bunny girl runs over. Hajime and Yui just look at her like she's a useless clown and start to walk away, but she begs them to help save her family, hugging his leg. Yu grabs her bunny ears to pull her off. He ignores her and keeps walking, but the two-headed dino comes back. The bunny girl yells at them to run. Instead, our hero just shoots each head once, and the dino drops dead. The girl is shocked at how easily he killed it. He tells her to let go of his leg and bonks her on the head. She introduces herself as Shei from the Halia tribe. She says if they don't help, her tribe is doomed. He agrees to hear her story and she gets all emotional, wiping her tears on his coat, which earns her another bonk. She's like, why would you hit a beauty like me? He gets mad and says, don't even go there. Yue is 100 times better than you. Shei checks herself out and claims she has a better body than Yue. Big mistake. Yui gets pissed, her energy flaring, and tells the bunny girl to say her last words. Cut to Shei telling her story. She explains that demi-humans can't usually manipulate mana, but she can. She has special monster-like powers, including seeing the future, which is how she knew they were coming. After her story, our hero uses the ring to create a motorcycle. Shei begs him to save her tribe, but he's like, what's in it for me? Yue suggests they take her along as a guide. Shei gets excited and tries to hug Yui, who just freezes her solid with ice magic. Cold. Next, we see the three of them riding the motorcycle towards the tribe, which is being attacked by dragons. So what does our hero do? He grabs Shei and yeets her into the air to bait the dragons, then shoots them all down. She complains that he's being too rough. After that, Hajime and Yue proceed to absolutely demolish all the monsters attacking the bunny tribe. Shei thanks them, saying her people can finally sleep peacefully. Our boy just says all he wants is to go home with Yue. The tribe members then ask Hajime and Yu to train them to be stronger. We see a training montage, but they're super weak and sensitive, getting emotional over a single flower. This clown gets fed up and tells them if they don't start hunting monsters, he'll hunt them instead. Later, Yui and Shei are sparring. But Shei is thrilled she managed to land a single scratch. She runs to tell Hajime, then asks if she can join their journey because she's in love with him. Just then, the tribe members return, announcing they've killed all the monsters. Their voices are deeper. They've clearly leveled up. They arrive at a great ancient tree and find a rock with Oscar Orcus symbols on it. They figure it's another one of his labyrinths. Hajime uses the ring and the rock lights up. He tells the tribe they've fulfilled their deal. He taught them to fight, so now he and Yue are going into the labyrinth alone. The tribe wants to come, too, but he tells them they need to keep training. Shei then has a flashback to her mother telling her about a new monster in the forest, a white shadow that disappears instantly. Her mom also said she would one day meet others with powers like hers. Back in the present, Sha is in the forest with Hajime and Yu. We see another flashback where Shia won a bet against Yu, which is why she's now allowed to travel with them. Scene change. Sha finds the labyrinth entrance. They hear a noise and Hajime starts shooting, which scares Shei so much she wets herself. LOL. They find out the noise was from a stone tablet controlled by Meidi Raisen. Shei smashes it with the hammer Hajime made for her. They walk down a hallway, but our hero steps on a pressure plate and giant stone balls come rolling at them. Yu tries to use her magic, but it's nullified here. Hajime's bullets don't work either, but Shei's hammer smashes them easily. Next, saws pop out of the walls, but Shei manages to stop them. They realize the whole place is a death trap. After more walking, they end up right back where they started, where Shei had her little accident. Meanwhile, we see a group of students. A girl named Yuka tells her classmates she's going into the labyrinth because she feels guilty that Hajime died saving them. Back with our crew, they're looking for Mad's hideout. They pass a hall of armors that come to life and attack. They destroy some and get through a door where they find Meidi Raisen in the form of a giant robot. Our protagonist recalls from Oscar's notes that Meidi was a human who died long ago. He tells the robot they're just looking for ancient magic to go home. He asks if it's in this labyrinth, but Meidi says she's not telling them anything. So he fires some missiles and tells the girls to aim for the robot's heart. They all attack and he shoots the core, but the robot just regenerates. Shei notices floating iron boxes falling from the ceiling and Hajime tells them to hold on to him. We see him and the girls switch up their strategy. They attack all at once, so Meidi can't regenerate. Shei smashes it with her hammer and uses an iron beam to pierce its heart. The robot finally dies. Yue gives Shei a pat on the head since our boy never does and tells her she did a great job. After this, Maddie's robot starts sputtering some words. With its last breath, it tells Hajime to prepare himself because the other gods are pure evil. Before disappearing, it says he will soon become the god's slaying demon. Scene change. Hajime, Yue, and Shei enter a hall and find Meidi Raisen again, but in a different body. Shei is pissed, thinking she was already dead, and whacks her with the hammer. Meidi gives Hajime a ring for clearing the level, but he demands something more valuable. He picks her up and shakes her until a bunch of valuables fall out. As they're collecting the loot, my lady pulls a lever, flooding the room and washing them out. Shei is unconscious, so our hero gives her mouth to mouth. She wakes up, hugs him, and gives him a full-on French kiss. He shoves her off and throws her back in the water. Later, the three of them check into a hotel. The girls start arguing because Shei wants to sleep in the bed with Hajime. Yue asks Shei what her intentions are, and Shei loudly announces she's going to give him her virginity. Everyone in the lobby stares. Our protagonist just pulls out his gun and starts firing into the air. Next, we see them talking to a man named Ilwa, the head of the Furine Adventurers Guild. Ilwa tells them he was looking for them. Apparently, they're the only people who've ever made it through the Risen Gorge. Ilwa says he has a job for them. Rescue Will, the son of Count Kudata, who got lost in the forest with two men. Hearing this, our hero agrees to rescue Will, but on one condition: Ilwa owes them a favor to be called in whenever they need it. Ilwa immediately agrees. After this, we see them traveling on the motorcycle. Hajime tells Yue that on their way to rescue Will, they'll see the world's largest rice paddies. Yue has no idea what rice is. This clown explains it's a staple food from his country, and she says she'd like to try it sometime. Scene change. We see Professor Aiko and the other students working in a rice field. When they go to eat, the cook tells them this is the last of the food. Monsters in the mountains are preventing any new supplies from getting through. Just then, Hajime and the girls walk into the restaurant. The professor and students overhear the girls say Hajime's name, but he looks so different they don't recognize him. But then the professor realizes it really is him. Our hero, of course, denies it. She keeps insisting, so he finally admits it's him. With a casual, "Yo," Professor Aiko gets mad because he won't explain how he's alive or why he looks so different. It's just too unbelievable. Yue and Shei introduce themselves to the professor, both claiming to be Hajime's girlfriend at the same time. He clarifies that Yue is his only girlfriend, but then they start fighting because Shei claims he stole a kiss from her while she was unconscious. And here we see our boy living the dream every otaku wants. Two girls fighting over him. But okay, enough jokes. Back to the anime. The professor is shocked to hear Hajime stole a kiss and then cheated on the girl with another. She starts bombarding him with questions, but he gives her super blunt answers. Then a Knight Templar comes to their table and starts making fun of Shay's ears. Our hero instantly pulls his gun and shoots the guy in the arm. Yuka has a flashback to when he helped her in the labyrinth. The other girls comment on how Hajime seems tougher and more popular with the ladies now. Shay is sad about what the knight said, but Yue tells her that her ears are cute and fluffy, and that Hajime thinks so, too. She reveals that he even pets them while she's sleeping. Hearing this, he gets embarrassed and annoyed at Yue for spilling his secrets. After this, Hajime tells Professor Aiko he won't say anything more about what happened in the labyrinth. Later, Professor Aiko is in her room thinking Hajime has become too violent. She vows to bring him back to his classmates. Just then, our protagonist walks into her room and explains why he's not rejoining them. He tells her about the trials he faced, the powers he got from Oscar, and how he just wants to go home. The professor tells him Kaori is safe and much stronger now, currently clearing the labyrinth again with the others. Hajime tells her to warn Kaori not to trust their classmates since one of them tried to kill him. Scene Shane, our hero, Yue, and Shay meet up with Aiko. The professor wants to hear more of his crazy stories from the labyrinth, so this clown agrees to let them come. As they're driving, Professor Iko falls asleep on his arm. Yue gets a little jelly and says she wants to sit next to him on the way back, but Shay chimes in saying she wants a turn, too. Our boy sends out some drones he made to track people. They find a giant crater with massive footprints. Yuka tells him there's a huge monster behind the mountains. They climb up and find a waterfall. Hajime senses someone is there. Yue, like a total boss, parts the waterfall in two, leaving the girls speechless at her power. Inside the cave, they find the young man. Will passed out. Hajime tells him the Adventurers Guild sent him. Will wakes up and explains that a horde of monsters cornered them and killed his companions. He feels guilty for being the only survivor, but our hero grabs him by the collar and tells him not to feel bad for living. He needs to suck it up and move on. As they leave the cave, a black dragon attacks. Ajime creates a shield with his ring, but the dragon's power is intense. Yue blasts it, knocking it to the ground, and Shay follows up with a massive hammer strike. The girls think they won, but the dragon is totally fine and attacks again. Hajime shoots it, but the dragon fires a blast at will. Yue throws up an ice shield to protect him. The other students try to help, but are completely useless, so Hajime tells Yue to protect. He and the dragon have a classic power clash. Naturally, our boy wins, and the dragon hits the deck. He punches it in the gut, shoves a bomb in, and shoots it some more. He tries to trap it with a machine he creates, but that fails. Shay smacks it with her hammer again. Hajime figures out its weak spot is a scaleless patch and shoves an iron rod right up its butt. The dragon starts screaming in a woman's voice, begging him to pull the rod out. He realizes it's a dragon kin, but that just makes him push the rod in deeper. She pleads with him, saying she'll run out of mana and won't be able to change back. Her mana is draining, so she won't be able to revert to her original form. The rod's stuck in there. The dragon lady starts explaining that a man used magic to control her and ordered her to kill Will and his friends. Will gets angry, not believing her story for a second, but Yue tells him the dragon kin isn't lying as they are a noble and honest race. She then reveals to the group that she's the last living vampire, her race having been wiped out 300 years ago, which is how she knows about dragon kin. After that, our hero finally pulls the rod out of her butt and she transforms back into her human form. The dragon girl complains that her but still hurts. Ouch. She then introduces herself as Tio. In the next scene, Tio is telling everyone that the man in the black cloak who manipulated her is building a monster army to attack the town. Hajime checks his drones and sees thousands of monsters heading their way, but he can't spot the cloaked man. He grabs Will since he promised to return him safely. He tells the girls they can stay, but asks the dragon girl to go warn the town. She whines that her but still hurts too much, so this clown just drags her along. We see the giant monsters marching, following the man in the black cloak. Later, Hajime is talking with Professor Aiko. She begs him to help the town, otherwise the monsters will destroy it. Our hero hesitates, but finally agrees, saying he'll only do it because she asked. The professor gets all emotional hearing that. After that, Hajime starts using his magic, preparing for the monster army's arrival. We see everyone helping the townspeople, giving them food, and evacuating women, children, and the elderly onto boats since they can't fight. Shay gets all pouty because the dragon girl is crushing on our hero and wants to feed him. He, of course, dodges that bullet. Later, Hajime is watching the man in the black cloak on his drones when Professor Aiko asks if she can help. He tells her everything is ready for the army and not to worry because it'll all be fine. Later that night, our hero is prepping his weapons when Yuko approaches to thank him for helping her before. This clown doesn't remember, so she explains he saved her back in the labyrinth. As she's leaving, he tells her she's got guts and to not die. After she's gone, the dragon girl pops out from behind a tree and asks to talk. He ignores her. Tio thinks he's playing hard to get to turn her on. Seriously, she then offers to join his journey, promising to give him her body in return. Meanwhile, Yue and Shei are watching from a distance. Shei calls Tio completely insane, and Yue agrees, but admits she could be useful in a fight. Later, our hero and the girls are waiting for the army. He tells the townspeople to fight for the goddess of agriculture, Professor Aiko. Basically, just to hype them up. Tio then announces that Hajime proposed to her because he gave her his ring. He corrects her, saying he just lent it to her to boost her dragon power. Then the battle begins. Hajime and the girls unleash hell with cannons, machine guns, and tons of magic. Seeing they're winning, the townspeople start chanting the goddess of agriculture's name, much to Aiko's confusion. As the townspeople chant her name, we see Hajime and laying waste to the army. The man in the black cloak sends his dragons after them, but our hero deletes them with ease. Tio hits her power limit and the ring shatters, causing her to pass out. Hajime runs out of bullets, so he and Shei hop on the bike and charge into the army while Yue launches a dragon-shaped spell. He and Shei start wrecking monsters, giant pigs, gorillas, skeletons, and wolves. The gorillas start to flee, and Hajime finally reaches the man in the black cloak and lands a perfect shot. Scene change. Hajime and Shei are walking back, and he's dragging the cloaked man behind him. Professor Aiko tries to get him to talk. It's revealed the guy is Shimizu, one of her students. He confesses he did it all because the demons recognized his worth. He says he went to the mountains to catch a monster, but ran into demons and made a pact with them. The deal was to kill Professor Aiko. The professor, being too nice, forgives him. But at that moment, Shimizu grabs her and holds a poison-tipped needle to her neck, telling everyone to drop their weapons. Suddenly, a demon on the mountain fires a blast that pierces both Shei and Shizu. As he falls, Shimizu stabs the professor with the needle. A Jaime shoots at the demon, but it escapes on a dragon. Shei is on the ground, wounded. Our hero runs to give her divine water, but Shei tells him Aiko needs it first. The professor is turning blue from the poison, so our hero gives her the divine water mouth to mouth, making her blush like crazy. He then pours some on Shei's wound. Shimizu is on the ground begging for help. Aiko asks Hajime to give him some divine water as she swore to protect all her students. But our hero doesn't trust him and just shoots him. Scene change. The girls realize Hajime shot Shimizu because he wouldn't have survived anyway. Even with the water, he did it so Aiko wouldn't blame herself. We see Aiko at Shimizu's grave looking at the sky. Later, a group of men has a little girl locked in a box. Hajime and the girls arrive at a hotel. He hands Will over to his father. Later, he's in the room with Yue, Shei, and Tio. Sha reminds him he promised to show her the cool spots in the city of Furine. But our hero is distracted, watching some shady guys in an alley. Tio falls asleep and dreams of her village burning when she was a child. Her father tells her she must survive. The dream shifts to her as an adult, telling her people their lives will change as they're constantly being attacked for being dragonkin. Yue wakes her up to go shopping. After that, Hajime is showing Shei around Furine. She tells him she's enjoying their date. They go into an aquarium and see a talking fish with a human face. What is this, SpongeBob? Our hero tells it his tragic backstory about eating monsters to survive in the labyrinth. The fish named Rhea starts crying. Hajime helps it out of the tank and releases it into the river. As thanks, Remia tells them that when it was captured, a little girl was also taken and locked up. It warns them about a criminal gang in the city that kidnaps and sells people as slaves. Meanwhile, Yue and Tio are fruit shopping. Tio asks if it bothers her that Shei is on a date with Hajime. Yue says she doesn't mind because Shei is a good person. Later, Hajime and Shei are walking and she asks if he minds Tio tagging along everywhere. He says Tio's not a bad person, just a bit of a pervert. Suddenly, our hero senses something wrong in the sewers. We cut back to Yue telling Tio that Shei loves Hajime, but she loves Shei too because she's so sweet. Scene change. Hajime is carrying the little girl who was in the box. Shei says the girl is from the Western Seas and belongs to the only protected demi-human race. The girl wakes up and says her name is MW. Later, MW is taking a bath with Shei looking after her. Hajime comes in and starts drying the girl's hair. Shei is surprised at how good he is with kids. The girl tells them that bad men separated her from her mother. Hajime tells Shei these must be the same guys the fish mentioned, meaning they were going to sell her as a slave. He tells Mu they'll take her to the city guards to help her get home, but the girl wants to stay with them, calling them her big brother and sister. Our hero leaves her anyway. He leaves the girl with the police, and she's left crying as he and Shei walk away. Cold man. As they're walking, they hear an explosion at the police station. They rush back to find it destroyed. The criminals left a note saying if Hajime wants the girl back, he has to hand over Shei. They meet up with Yue and Tio and go after the girl. The four of them start tearing through the bad guys across the city. Shia and Tio rescue more kids the gang had locked up in the sewers. Meanwhile, the boss has Mew again and is about to hit her with a club, but our hero swoops in, kicks the guy, and shoots him. Mu sees her savior and runs to hug him. He picks her up and flies into the air. From above, they watch Yue destroy the criminal's hideout with her dragon-shaped power. Hajime brings MW to Yu and introduces her as his girlfriend. Yu hugs the little girl and tells her she did a great job. Hajime tells the girl his name, but she hugs him and says she's going to call him Papa since she's never had a father. He tells her not to, but she insists. Then Yui, Sha, and Tio all tell him they want to have a baby with him. And suddenly, things get incredibly wild. Later, Shei is on the bike with Hajime following in the van with the other girls. Mu tells him she wants to ride a motorcycle like Shei. He says he'll teach her some other time. Suddenly, Tio starts making weird noises, saying how much Hajime turns her on by being such a good father. Mio tells him, Papa, big sis Tio is making strange noises. Yu just tells her to ignore it. They arrive in a town called Hole, and our hero gets gloomy, remembering his classmates and how they let him fall. Later, he's talking to a man named Loa, giving him a letter from the adventurer's leader that details how Hajime's party fought an army of 60,000. A guy named Indu walks in and is shocked to see Hajime, who looks completely different. He begs Hajime to come with him, explaining that a demon is slaughtering everyone in the labyrinth. Cut to the students on floor 90. There's monster blood everywhere. They figure a stronger monster is killing everything. A demon woman with a white crow on her shoulder appears and tells the students to join her. They realize she's the one who made the pact with Shimezu. The students attack the monsters she's controlling, but it's useless. They finally manage to wound one, but the demons just heals it. They realize this monster is way stronger than anything they've fought before. Shizuku tells Indu to go get help from the surface. Back in the present, Indu is telling this story to Loa and Hajime's group. Mio is eating loudly, and Indo yells at her. Hajime immediately hugs her and threatens to kill Indu for scaring his little girl. Yep, this clown is officially attached. Yu, Shei, and Tio are stunned to see him embracing his new role. He's really taking this dad role seriously. Back in the labyrinth, the students are still fighting. The demons sends monster cats to attack. One of them guts a student named Suzu, who drops dead. A guy named Cookie falls to his knees in despair. Shizuka slaps him to snap him out of it so they can escape. We learned that before Endo came to the surface, he went to warn Commander Meld on floor 70. But a demon followed him there, killed a guard, and started fighting Mel, forcing Endo to teleport away to get help. In another scene, the students are running from the demons when a badly wounded Commander Mel appears, but the demons are right behind him. They run him through with a sword and he dies. Apologizing to the students, Kuki gets enraged, his armor glowing with mana. Shizuku warns him not to use all his power or his body won't handle it. Kuki kills a monster and manages to wound the demons, but he can't finish her. She summons another monster that attacks him. Back in the present, Indu is begging Hajime to help his classmates. Our hero says they aren't his classmates anymore, just strangers. But then he remembers his past, looks at Mu, and she asks him to save his friends. Yu and the girls tell him they'll go with him if he decides to help. Hajime agrees to go. Back in the labyrinth, the students are exhausted and about to be wiped out. Shizuku is still fighting, but it's not enough. Just as the monsters are about to kill two of the girls, an iron pile driver falls from the ceiling and impales them. The demons freaks out. It's Hajime here to save the day. Shizuku is stunned. We flash back to Hajime, the girls, and Indu heading into the labyrinth. Indu is blown away when Hajime one-shots the behemoth. Back in the present, the girls are amazed by Hajime's new look. He tells Shizuku to chill out since she's supposed to be the calm one. He then tells the demoness that if she leaves now, he'll spare her. She refuses and summons a demon from a portal. He scoffs, calling it kids' magic. Hajime starts slaughtering the demons, while his former classmates watch in disbelief at how strong he's become. The demonist sends wolves, but he kills them just as easily as the pig-faced monsters. A turtle monster appears and fires a blast at him. He puts up a shield with his ring, which reflects the attack right back at the demons. She hits the ground, and when she tries to heal, she realizes the blast killed her white crow, her personal healer. Indu tells the others that this guy is Hajime, but they can't believe it. Remembering him as the weakest kid in class, Yue asks Hayama if he's going to try to kill Hajime again. The guy panics, wondering how she knew. Yue then opens a dark portal and sucks all the monsters into it. Shei starts smashing the remaining ones with her hammer. The demons sends a snake next, but our hero creates a sword with his ring and tosses it to Shizuku. She slices the snake into 4 pieces. Shizuku is blown away by the sword. It's super light and sharp. Hajime tells the demons to just give up, but she unleashes her final attack. Everyone thinks he's toast, but nope, he's totally fine. Then our boy shoots the demons in the legs. All his former classmates are shocked at how violent he's become. The demons tells him her lover will come to kill him soon. He's like, I don't care who comes. I'll kill any demon or god who gets in my way. Just like he said at the beginning, his classmates yell at him not to kill her since she's defenseless. But this clown doesn't listen and finishes her off. The students are terrified of the person he's become. Scene change. Shei is with Commander Meld, who's still alive because she gave him divine water. Yu arrives and Hajime thanks her for her help. They share a look, but then all the classmates show up. Saori runs to him happy he's alive and apologizes for not being able to protect him. She starts crying, but it makes our hero uncomfortable, so he tells her to stop. She does and hugs him. Yue and Shei are clearly not happy about this. Shizuku tells him to hug her back. Later, the group is walking out of the labyrinth, but Kuki won't stop arguing with Hajime for killing the defenseless demons. Our hero points his gun at Kuki, saying he doesn't care if they were friends before. He won't hesitate to kill him. He says he only helped because he owed a favor to Kaori. After that, they exit the labyrinth to find the entire kingdom's army waiting, thinking they'd need more help. Later, Hajime is with Mu and the girls when Kaori approaches and confesses her love for him. He tells her he's in love with Yue, but she says she wants to join their journey anyway. Yue surprisingly says Kaori can come, confident that Hajime only has eyes for her. Then, Kaori grabs our hero by the collar, demanding to know why the little girl calls him Papa. He tells Yue it's a bad idea to bring Kaori along. Yue insists it's a great idea since they'll be stronger together. Scene change. Shizuku tries to return the sword, but he tells her to keep it since she helped him out. They share a moment, but then Yu and Kaori show up, so they awkwardly say they were just talking. Later, as Hajime's group is about to leave, Kaori says goodbye to Shizuku and her friends. We see them in the van, and our hero declares he'll find his own way and kill any enemy, even if they're goddesses. We flash forward to him fighting a goddess, remembering his vow and shooting her. Back in the present, the students return to the kingdom and are greeted by Princess Liliana. They recount their ordeal to the others. Liliana asks Shizuku where Saori is, and she explains that she left with Hajime. Liliana then asks about him, and Shizuku says he's changed a lot, lost in thought about him. Later, our hero and the girls are driving through a desert. Kaori tells MW that Papa Hajime is amazing, but our boy snaps at Kaori, telling her only MW can call him that. Yue and Kaori start arguing over who knows him better. Kaori claims she does because they were classmates, but Yue fires back that she knows what he likes in bed. Oof, burn. Mu jumps in, telling her big sisters to stop fighting. Shei gets annoyed and yells at them not to fight in front of the kid. Tio then casually rests her chest on Hajime's head and points out giant sandworms ahead. As the worms chase the van, he tells Tio to get her boobs off him, but then Kaori puts her face in his lap. Yue and Shei immediately start yelling at Kaori for trying to make a move. The girls all start fighting over him. This clown finally whips out the van's big gun and blasts the worms. Afterwards, they spot a man lying on the ground. They get out and see he's suffering from mana overload. Kaori uses the ring Hajime gave her to drain the excess mana, but says it's only a temporary fix. The man wakes up, sees Kaori, and thinks he's died and gone to heaven because he's looking at a goddess. They take him into the van, and he introduces himself as Biz, son of the Duke of Enkaji. He explains that his town is in trouble. A poison in the water is causing people to collapse from mana overload. The young man explains the only cure is a crystal called Stillstone found in a volcano, but anyone who tries to get it collapses from the poison. Bees begs Hajime and the girls for help. MW looks at our hero with puppy dog eyes and asks him to help the nice man. He agrees, and the girls get excited for a new adventure. Scene change. We meet the demon General Freed and Mail. They're pissed that an army of 60,000 monsters was defeated by our hero, who also killed the demon's Catlia. Freed declares he's going to the volcano to get new magic to become stronger and avenge Catlia. Back with our crew, they arrive in Enkaji. It's a beautiful town, but the streets are deserted. They go to the Duke's palace, and everyone is amazed when Yue uses her powers to create a whole new unpoisoned river. Exhausted, she bites Hajime's neck for a blood refill, and they share a kiss. Suddenly, our hero detects something and starts throwing bombs into the river. A water monster emerges, the source of the poison. It shoots water jets, but Yue freezes them solid, and Tio follows up with a fire blast. Hajime shoots the monster, and it disappears back into the river. The Duke thanks them profusely, but our boy tells him he'll be sending a bill for his services later. In the next scene, Kawi is tending to the sick. The Duke announces that the river is clean and that Hajime's party is going to the volcano, and the girls are heading to the volcano to find the still stone and cure the sick. As they're about to leave, Kaori tells Hajime she's staying behind to look after the sick and Mew. But then MW asks if he's going to kiss Kaori like he kissed Yue at the river. Kawi gets flustered, grabs our hero by the collar. Yu just licks her lips smugly. Scene change. Hajime and the girls arrive at the volcano, feeling the intense heat as they climb. At the entrance, he asks if they're ready. They all say yes. Inside, they find a few still crystals, but not enough. He says they need to go deeper. Soon they run into a monster that spews lava at them. Yue opens a dark portal and makes the lava vanish. Shei smashes the monster with a new hammer Hajime made for her. They find a cave full of steel stone, but he tells them they have to clear the labyrinth to get it. The heat starts getting to Shei, and Yue tells her to control her mind. But then Yue starts hallucinating too. Our hero decides they need a break. In a cave, he asks you to make an ice block since the heat is messing with their heads. As she does, Tio opens a portal that blows cool air. She explains the heat is a trial, a common feature in these labyrinths, but our protagonist gets distracted, staring at Tio's chest. Then he notices Yue's shirt button has popped open, and she asks him to wipe her sweat. Later, they're on a boat he made going down lava falls. Yue uses her powers to steer. They reach the Guardian's lair and are immediately attacked by fireballs. Our hero and the girls dodge the attacks. Lava serpents appear, breathing fire. He loads his guns with special bullets and starts blasting them. The girls join in, but the serpents just keep respawning. They realize they have to destroy the crystals on the walls to stop them for good. Tio and Shei use their powers to destroy more monsters, but tell Hajime they expect our ward later. He gets all flustered and tells Yue he has no idea what they're talking about, but Yue just says she wants her reward, too, and unleashes lightning that fries several serpents. Tio and Shei get bummed that Yue is winning the battle for the reward. He keeps shooting, but then a blast hits him from above. The girls scream in panic. We see our hero falling into the lava, but Yue catches him with her magic. She gives him divine water, but he doesn't wake up. She flashes back to when he saved her. And when they fought the Hydra, Tio yells at her to look up as lightning rains down on them. They put up power shields. They hear a voice, and looking up, they see the demon Freed Ba with a bunch of dragons. Freed explains he killed Hajime because he was too big a threat to the demons. Having learned too much of their magic, he had learned too much about demon magic. But just then, our hero wakes up and tells the demon to have some manners and introduce himself properly. The girls are overjoyed that he's alive and well. The demon states his name and declares he's a follower of God who will kill anyone in his way. Our hero retorts, "Hey, that's my line," and opens fire. The demon puts up a shield, blocking the attack. Freed teleports behind Hajime and blasts him again. The girls defend against the other monsters' attacks. Tio has another flashback to her village burning. Her father tells her the dragonkin must hide because they're being hunted. She asks if they'll have to hide forever, and he says only until the right time comes. Back in the present, Hajime is holding back the demon's power, using his ring to create multiple shields. The demon is shocked when Tio transforms into a massive black dragon. He scoffs that dragonkin are extinct, but she blasts him with a powerful breath attack. Freed's dragon counters with its own, and the two beams collide. The dragon breaths collide in a massive explosion. Our hero appears behind the demon and shoots, shattering his shield, then follows up with a sword slash. The demon panics as Hajime keeps attacking. Tio overpowers the other dragon, which flies away. Just then, our protagonist runs out of mana and starts to fall toward the lava, but Tio catches him and brings him to a safe rock. The demon, realizing they're too strong, uses his power to make the volcano erupt. Knows they're out of time. He gives his ring to Tio and tells her to get back to the town while he and the other girls stay to fight the demon. He asks her to tell Kawi and Mio he'll be back soon. Tio flies off, dodging dragon fire and unlocking a new ability. She makes it out of the volcano, confident they can defeat the demon. Meanwhile, Shizuku is training with the sword Hajime gave her. Remembering the fight in the labyrinth, she's in a courtyard and starts playing with a cat, but gets embarrassed when Princess Liliana catches her. The princess tells her she overheard the king planning to declare Hajime a heretic because of his connection to demon power. They need Cookie to get stronger to fight him. Elsewhere, Hayama, the traitor, is in the woods. A woman's voice tells him that if he doesn't do what she says, she'll expose him for trying to kill Hajime. She also promises to grant all his wishes. Scene change. Tio, exhausted, crash lands back in the town. Saori rushes out and asks where everyone is. Later, Tio is in bed with Kaori and Mew. She tells them what happened and relays Hajime's message that he'll be back soon. Kaori blushes, saying she knows he'll survive and act like nothing happened. Tio suggests they take MW to the town of Arisen, where her mother lives. Cut to Hajime on a ship in the middle of the ocean. He tells Yue he's feeling better. Yue says she is too since she drank Shei's blood. She climbs on top of him and recounts how they escaped the volcano. In the flashback, Yu and Shei are carrying an exhausted Hajime out of the erupting volcano. Just as the lava is about to get them, they enter a hidden chamber where he says they're safe. A magic circle appears and activates. Yue touches a written message and a wall opens, revealing a medallion for spatial magic. She says they aren't ready to use it yet. Hajime says they'll escape in a ship he built. He creates a barrier to protect them from the heat as they board. On the ship, he loses control and tells them they'll just have to go wherever it takes them. The girls hug him, vowing to stay with him to the end. The volcano launches the ship into the sea. Sharks attack, but Hajime destroys them with the ship's guns. More sharks come, but they're out of ammo. He tells Yue to drink his blood, but she says she can't drink any more from him because he's too weak. A offers blood instead. Back in the present, Sha is recovering in bed. Hajime and Yu are lying naked on the deck of the ship. She tells him she drank a lot of blood, so Shei will be out for a while. But just then Shei appears and gets angry seeing them naked. He asks how she's feeling, but she's mad that he's acting so casual. Later, they're eating fish when some fishmen jump out of the water. Our hero chokes on his fish. The fishmen are terrified, thinking they've come to steal their children. Hajime finally swallows his food and asks if they're talking about MW. One of the fishmen attacks Shei, but our hero smacks him with his fish. He looks up and sees Mew falling from the sky with Tio and Kawi. He leaps up and catches her, telling her never to do something so dangerous again. Kawi hugs him, but then Tio shoves her boobs in his face again. Later, they arrive in Arisen, the city on the sea where Mu was born. Hajime clears up the misunderstanding with the fishmen leaders. Mio leads him by the hand to her house, where she's reunited with her mother. The mother apologizes for not protecting her. Mio sees her mother's injured leg and tells Hajime to help. Her mother is surprised to hear Miyu call him Papa. Our hero carries the mother inside, so Kaori can heal her leg. It turns out she was injured when the kidnappers took Mu. Saori heals her, but says she needs to stay for a few days to monitor her. After that, the mother asks him to our hero how they met her daughter and why Mu calls him Papa. He explains the whole story of how he saved her and why she calls him that. The mother asks them to stay for a few days, but our hero gets up and says he'll stay at a hotel. The mother then asks Mu why Papa wants to leave. She then tells Hajime that she'd like him to be Mu's dad forever. Outside, the fishmen are peeking through the window, absolutely furious that this clown just showed up and became Mu's dad. Scene change. Professor Aiko is talking with Shizuku, telling her that Hajime is a really good person for rescuing a little girl and saving her, too. Shizuku asks if something happened between her and Hajime. The professor gets all flustered, saying she can't have a romance with a student, but Shizuku totally figures it out. Our boy charmed the professor, too. The professor then reveals that the kingdom considers Hajime a heretic because of his ties to demon magic. She adds that when the king made that decision, he and the guards were acting strangely. She tells Shizuku that Hajime told her something about the kingdom's church and the god they worship and that they need to tell the other students ASAP. Later, he's recounting how they left MW with her mom to explore the sunken ruins of Melusine. We see all the girls bathing on the ship. Kaori gets out to find our hero, who's watching the sunset over the sea. But just as they're having a moment, Yue, Shei, and Tio show up to crash the party. Later that night, our protagonist takes out the medallion from the volcano. It starts to charge with moonlight, emitting a beautiful glow that even moves this edgy boy. After that, the ship dives into the sea, guided by the medallion's light toward the ruins of Melusine. They reach the entrance to a labyrinth which opens for them, but then a monster formed of red and black light appears. Our hero launches his new, more powerful missiles and blows it to smithereens. They find the final pentagram, open it with the medallion, and enter a cave that leads to a dry area. A torrent of water falls from above, but Yue casually puts up a shield. Tio spots something on the ceiling and blasts it. We see Tsari looking really down. Our hero, surprisingly observant for a clown, asks what's wrong, but she just says it's nothing. Later, they're wading through a watery cave. He carries Yue on his shoulder so she won't get wet cause she's the smallest. The other girls tease her, saying he's carrying her like he carried Mew, but she only gets mad at Kaori. A bunch of monsters appear, but the girls take them out easily. Then a slimy, gelatinous monster shows up. Shei smacks it with her hammer, but a piece of it lands on her fingers. She asks our hero to put medicine on her chest, but Sayuri just heals her with magic, crushing Shei's dreams of getting touched by him. More of the jelly monster oozes from the walls, forming a giant creature. They shoot and destroy it, but it just reforms. Our hero realizes it's not a real monster, but is being controlled by that red and black light.